a month later and you'll record that video. Stuff has been like really tough, but I'm not giving up and I know that you won't either, bro.
Hey, I've put in every single last bit of effort possible to make 100% sure that this is my magnum opus, the most valuable video you'll see today, maybe even this entire year. Easily 10 times more value than these two combined, which got me millions of views and like tons of support in the comments. So promise me just one thing now, promise me this, that you'll watch my story in full until the end, okay? Thank you. You don't have to watch it all in one sitting, just make it to the end without skipping. I'm so confident in this video that I bet literal money from my pocket that any sensible human being will find value from at least just one of the sections in this video, alright? It will mean everything to younger me, who spent hours every day for months on end thinking and structuring this video you're watching now, how like I would plan it in the way that you would get the most value from. I'm gonna be extremely vulnerable and tell you about things I haven't even told my closest friends yet. Life-changing stuff like how I finally pushed past all of my insecurities to enjoy life for how good it really is, improve relationships with close friends and parents, and the closest thing I've found to the literal well of happiness that allows me to wake up every day and be productive, knowing that that's self-love. And like anyone who knew me 3 years ago would say that I was the most depressed guy they saw. I don't use that word lightly, but that's just what every single friend of mine would say. This thing I'm about to tell you, this thing right here, ain't just your regular sunlight, breathwork, or journaling. It's something more, alright? A guy I told this to, he came back to me, right? And he said that it was more effective than the literal antidepressants he was taking, and that he doesn't really need them anymore. That's how powerful this is, man, if used right. Think about that. This is gonna offend some people, yeah, but literally just try it and see the results for yourself. It's so fucking powerful, just basic self-improvement habits applied in the right way. I'll also talk about random stuff, the good old days that got me doing charity work on YouTube for what was then pennies, my closest thing to heartbreak, which was more of humiliation that I'm genuinely grateful for, and how I keep a good heart every day so that I'm able to have fun conversations with other people. And wait, that's actually important. Alright, all recorded in 4K 60 FPS. My editing software is gonna crash. Alright, without further ado, here we fucking go. 2019, what seemed like the most picture perfect year of my life. I'll explain that seemed part in year 9 of this video. 11 years old at the time, I was relatively introverted but also confident enough to talk to girls, teachers, the principal, you name it. Played chess for my state and got a lot of nice medals. Like countless memories from school, the squad saying stuff that could land us in jail, would probably land us in jail. Us playing this hand game called Charge where basically you charge up for different moves like Tornado or Sing. That's so nostalgic, bro. And oh yeah, me and bro used to annoy like this reserved girl with how loud we were. Wait bro, that's actually so funny. Like we'd be like, let's go, and she'd be like, go where? Wait, I think that girl's in my class right now actually. Okay, anyway, then I'd get back home, right, and I'd game Diep.io or Pokemon Go every single afternoon and night. Heaven on earth. But not as good as what I'm gonna tell you later on in this video. It was by no means perfect, but overall life was going awesome, man. I could say that, oh, I wasn't being productive, I wasn't working towards my goals, but come on, man, it's your childhood. Again, time spent having fun is not time wasted. And I was spending my time having loads of fun. Fast forward to year 7 and that would all change. I already had some acne in year 6, but in year 7 it only got worse and worse. At least school was online, so I didn't have to show that. I also got into cryptocurrency, by the way. A 13-year-old obsessed with the chart going up. The chart of my mental health. I mean, if you check the prices, like Bitcoin's worth a lot more now, but it wasn't worth it honestly. And it was at this point that I slowly started losing interest in chess, the thing I've spent at least 15,000 hours on since year 3, like damn 8 years ago now. I lost that sense of pursuit and my acne got even worse. The appetizer meal of this video, 2022 was the year that I got a lot of my quote-unquote trauma from. I don't have many pictures from this year because I hated myself so damn much that I didn't even want to look into the camera. I'm gonna give you the actually very interesting cliff notes of this year, not a 25-minute yap on how like genuinely horrible life was, alright? I started off school and my acne gave me so much anxiety, fear of judgment, lack of confidence, and the whole package basically. I looked disgusting, and yeah, I didn't have the six-pack I do now, but I was taking pretty good care of my face, alright? Probably more than the clear-faced people I knew. We went to the literal doctor and she was dumbfounded. I still remember that, bro. First week of school, I pull up and I may or may not have been called a very specific word that may or may not start with the letter N. Yeah. Even one of my teachers was like, "You're just living in your own world, bro." And he was right. There was this one guy calling me like pimple fuck for basically the entire year too. With how low my mental health was, of course it got to me. And also there was this really childish girl who apparently had a crush on me despite all my bullshit. Keep her in mind for later, I'll get to her later. And I later got COVID, but my mom told me to lie about it for the sake of my reputation in school. I took 2 weeks off school. I put reputation in this because I didn't even have a reputation, bro. And it was around this time that I really got into Dank Memer, this Discord bot, and I'd waste hours of my days for months rummaging through trade chats for value deals, just to get scammed off the bulk of my wealth later, bro. And then I lost interest. I also got introduced to something that would be my downfall, Clash Royale. I started playing it because I wanted to fit in, and I did achieve that somewhat, but it wasn't worth it, man. I spent easily another 10,000 hours there, not exaggerating. And my only real pursuit at the time was YouTube. And at this point, I had started to put actual effort into my videos editing and was averaging 100 or so views. But honestly, it was just a massive cope. Like, oh, playing video games for 10 hours a day is productive now, guys. It's productive. But imagine every single day is like that. Every single day I go to school knowing that not one soul there respects me and they shit on me behind my back. Going home knowing my family doesn't really respect me either. Gluing my eyes to Clash Royale for hours a day because that was the only place I felt a real sense of progress from. And then going to sleep feeling like a piece of shit. Every single day feeling like a victim of my circumstances. Feeling powerless, feeling sluggish, trying to make it through the next day. Every single day. And I wasn't gonna slot this part in here, but because this entire activity is pretty retarded in my opinion, but one of the purest YouTubers I know, Matthew Smith, had I think used corn as an escape when he was presumably feeling something similar to what I did. Like he was addicted to that for 4 years. And I was very down bad, but never down or bad enough to have zero dignity for myself. And after Matt told me how shit it made him feel, I'm very fucking glad I did not go there once. But that also means I don't know how to help when 13-year-old kids, literal 13-year-old kids by the way, message me about it. I'd say the answer is in something I internalized somehow only very recently, which is to humanize girls. That simple. You'll talk to girls and people in general, honestly, who are nice, of course, because it feels good having a conversation with other human beings. Simple as that. Maybe that way of thinking is why I'm still single, but I genuinely wish I had found it earlier, alright? Because it may or may not have saved me from some of the things I'll tell you about later in this video. Because I find with this, you're full of love and there's no lust at all. I'm not Christian, but in the Bible, lust is literally a sin, so I'm sure you don't want any of that. And I may not be able to help those 13-year-old kids, but I hope I can help you instead. Take this as a sign to reject degeneracy in all areas of life, alright? And back to year 8, I would discover the concept of self-improvement. They're Not Your Friends by Hamza Unfiltered. I resonated so much with that title. He got me onto self-improvement and I started lifting weights a little bit. I could barely lift the 4-pound orange dumbbells, bro. And I remember in between sets I would dream about being a successful YouTuber. Hell, I'd spend more time dreaming and dreaming rather than actually lifting the weights. But there was some hope. And oh yeah, that girl I mentioned earlier, she was annoying. I mean, like, it's middle school, and I was probably more annoying and more stupid than her. But I'm thankful. While my life was already shit, she pushed me into what Hamza calls an FTE. Like, fuck this event. We were in drama class, right? And we arm wrestled. I couldn't bring her arm down. Even though she was like one of the skinniest girls. And after that, I was just thinking like, that's not right. I shouldn't be this weak. I'm a guy. Like, what the hell? And then on the last day of year 8, me and that pimple-fucked guy got into an argument, and I scratched his arm really hard. And I promised him in anger that next year I'd come back stronger. Now, this is something I only internalized in year 10, but it will help you see my year 9 from a new perspective. If you struggle with self-forgiveness and self-sabotage regularly, you definitely want to take some notes here. Truth is, there's no point of beating yourself up even further. Imagine giving yourself a leg injury because you finished the 1km race like not under 4 minutes. And then with the leg injury, expecting yourself to run even faster. Now that I put it like that, it sounds fucking stupid, right? But that's what so many people, including my past self, did. I'm going to use Uncle Iroh here to teach you self-forgiveness because, in my opinion, he's the best example of self-forgiveness that exists in the world of fiction. This isn't the well of happiness thing I promised just yet, but it could genuinely change your life. Just let me cook here. And I need to refer to the points I have here because I don't remember the story exactly. Fuck. I actually don't remember the full story, so that's why I got some points on a note here, lol. And so Iroh's the king's first son, and he's actually about to inherit the throne. He himself has got a son, and he's so good he becomes the military's general. Like in Avatar, there are 4 kingdoms. Iroh leads the Fire Nation against the Earth One in the deciding battle of the war. But just as he's about to win, Iroh learns that his son got killed, and he didn't even get to see his last moments. Iroh felt that he wasn't there for his son, and in grief, he ordered his soldiers to retreat. He's shunned in shame, and his little bro Ozai is now on the throne. And that's where this Nickelodeon's kids show starts. We reach the episode where all his lore is revealed. Tales of Pa Sing Se. It's extensive, so I'll only tell the lore that's relevant to helping you reach self-forgiveness, like I did. He's living as a refugee in the city he would have took. The episode starts off normally. And then he buys a very specific basket, I think. He sees a kid crying and plays him a song about a young soldier boy marching home from war. The kid stops crying. Like, a guy tries to mug him, but bro casually says, your stance makes you vulnerable, and proves it by knocking him down. He then corrects the guy's stance. And then Iroh says he ain't looking like the criminal type though. And he just says, yeah, stuff's been tough lately. So Iroh takes the guy for tea, tells him to chase his dreams, with the guy responding that no one had ever believed in him before. Side note, if no one is giving you words of encouragement every day, you've got to consciously give them to yourself, alright? Then the episode's vibe changes, and Iroh goes up to a tree on a hill with a basket. It's unclear what he's doing until he pulls out a piece of paper, and then he says, "Happy birthday, my son. If only I could have helped you." And the most tear-inducing song produced in television history starts playing. It's the same one he played for the boy, but here it hits different. And I know our stuff is not that deep, but I also know that you've done a lot of stuff yourself that you regret. You might regret a little, and it plays in your mind all the time, just like Iroh. Like, the logic your brain has is that, oh, I made other people feel bad, so I should feel bad myself, right? And I should keep doing that. But it doesn't make sense because you aren't that past version of you anymore. How do you know that? Because, well, you know you shouldn't have done that. You observe the past version of you and what he did and know that was wrong. Which, yeah, you're not the past version of you anymore. You got new stuff, new everything. Yeah, you share the same body as the old you, fine, but you're able to see them and all the insecurities they had that make them act that way. And since you're now able to look at them from an outside perspective, you're no longer them, you know? You have new experiences, new values that you didn't have before. And remember, we said you feel bad when you make other people feel bad. You're a person too, man, which means you're making people feel bad again. And it's just this self-fulfilling cycle. Just internalize that you have control over your emotions. and listen to a sad song and you'll be sad. Wind your shoulders back, smile, and you'll be happier. You can't erase the past, so accept it. But what you can erase is this unnecessary self-harm that keeps you like stuck hating yourself. This took me so fucking long to understand, so I hope my past suffering could help present you. So, to give others happiness, you have to create happiness within yourself to be able to give it, Fill up your own cup so you can pour it in others. And that's your way of saying sorry to other people and to yourself for all the self-harm. Offer others the compassion, the love, the lessons that your past self needed to prevent them from making the same mistake that you did. Just like Uncle Iroh, having tea and offering support to the guy who literally tried to mug him 5 minutes ago. Hell, just like me, giving you value now and from the happiness thing that's later on in the video. I don't have a paid course to sell you or anything, just Ko-fi donations help me keep this channel running. Remember that the first step to picking your pieces back up is acknowledging that you've been broken, but also that you don't have to stay that way. It's year 9 and playing charge is no longer cool, it's now autistic. Anyway, I finally got a viral video on YouTube. The video was just funny Minecraft clips I stitched together, but the high view number piqued my interest in YouTube, so not safe. If you're watching this, thank you. I was working out, but gym progress doesn't come fast, man. Here's a picture of me from like the 30th of April, is it? Yeah, April 2023. Nobody would believe me if I said I was working out consistently, lol. And I also found this song called Long Drives by Boy Review. I genuinely do not think I would be here today if I hadn't found this song. It was the light in the dark for me, something like when I thought I had nothing. And with that, I was able to hold on. Life was weirdly calm, like the calm before the storm. But before the storm, could we have a chat about the reason you're even here? Okay, other than God. Because you don't appreciate these two people enough. Hell, I don't either, man. I haven't talked about my parents before, but I think now's the time. This is the part that I really overthought what I wanted to say, man. And like, yeah, I have points on the script also. Just points. Like, honestly, they are really phenomenal people. I mean, like, they've shaped me into who I am today, wanting to help the world. But I remember like wanting to yap about their shortcomings and saying, don't be like this, which now I know was just immature. But I can't really blame past me either. Like, remember how I said at the start of the video, everything seemed picture perfect. Yeah, what I didn't tell you was that around a year ago prior, my parents were arguing almost daily, it felt like. And it was like the full package of swear words, slam doors, and late dinners. I don't want to shift any blame on them because obviously they've grown now and none of that happens anymore. But I also don't want to be the kid who goes like, oh, I got beaten like 7 times that year. Oh, I'm so traumatized. Like, I got caned so much the tip of the cane literally like broke, so it cannot like inflict pain effectively anymore. But it's not even that. It's just like when a little child is exposed to that level of uncertainty and like he doesn't know what's gonna happen next, and when he grows up, he just like he always feels like stuff is out of his control. And like he's not aware of it, but it fucks him up, Uncertainty had become comfort. So even though I wanted certainty, I would be the one creating the arguments like later on in like year 9 now that further instilled the belief that I had family problems, even though I was the problem at that point. Like, thing is, my parents worked so hard for me and made so many sacrifices that they didn't have to. I could sit comfortably behind the camera in their house and I could be talking shit about them, but they would still love me unconditionally, That's honestly really... I don't know how to say, man. I just hope you know that your parents love you no matter what, okay? And that's why this video you're watching right now is dedicated to them. That's why I chose this date, March 7th, to upload this video, which is my mom's birthday. And both my parents worked day and night for years just to hand over to me the privileges that I don't know if I deserved. Like there are many parents who don't go the extra mile, who don't sacrifice for their children, but my parents did. And they never complained about it. Oh, I mean, sure, okay, my mom will sometimes be like, well, an old woman, like, oh, look, I have to wash the clothes, or oh, my back's pain. But I don't think they ever once tried to make me feel bad for them. Like, they only wanted to see me do well in life. And our parents have their faults too, there's no denying that. But honestly, I have my faults too, you have your faults too, you know? It's not fair to them for you to only remember their every mistake and not all the good they've already done for you. And I wish I started appreciating all the effort and sacrifices that my parents made for me earlier. I wish I appreciated it. And I wish I was younger when I realized that your parents had a way different childhood than you know, and you need to recognize that. I won't tell the details here obviously, but my dad told me his boring childhood that honestly sounded like the most fun thing ever, and how his parents were away for a lot of the time, busy making money. He never complained about a lack of love. And now our parents give us more time, but we feel less love than our parents did, you know. I mean, if I had one wish, I would love to see my mom like talk about herself more and communicate what she wants more clearly instead of like shouting Cantonese swear words all the time for like the smallest, most insignificant reason. And like I don't really know my mom, anything about her or like how she grew up. And maybe I'm still too young, you know. Maybe I should shut up and be grateful, like my dad would say. Like my dad would say. I used to be the typical kid who only recognized their faults. For example, my mom can get paranoid of like neighbors' opinions, for example, or random people when we're out. A bit like most moms, I'd say. And I guess that's why I push myself so much and willingly put myself into situations where I get embarrassed, like making YouTube videos, for example. Because the truth is your parents affect you way more than you think. At the end of the day, they worked and cared enough to raise me into the kind of good-hearted person I am today. And for that, I'm so grateful. To raise me into the kind of person that wants to help you watching this video. Okay, just a moment, this personal stuff. So like, I left out a lot of stories, but maybe some of them I'll keep for future videos, but I hope you can respect my privacy here, alright? Alright, back from lunch and back to year 9. Clash Royale was still a vice that I had, but my eyes were set on making it on YouTube, bro. I tried to find my own style of content, even making covers of boy review songs. And I was saying to myself like, please bro, you're not good at anything else, just please, could we just try this? And yeah, my class knew about my YouTube, and obviously they thought it was cringe lah, right? But shit hadn't hit the fan yet, that was in year 10. Long drives kept me afloat, and it's now 25th October. I made it, I survived. This guy did. He survived. I had a fun class trip where I would post a story, this picture, with the caption, "Why do I look kinda cute?" I did that because I knew stories only lasted 24 hours, but I forgot that people could screenshot the story, so yeah, that was kinda dumb. And anyway, the last month of year 9 was like genuinely the first time in years that I felt a sense, just a slight sliver of happiness. It would fade away in year 10, but I'll forever hold on to those fond memories of year 9, bro. Like, the class was like so different, but everyone just fit together really nice. Like actually, other than like 2 people. One of them is watching this video. And also I think a girl typoed my name as J Baby in a group chat with the teacher in it, the literal teacher in it, and people still call me that sometimes. Like that's actually crazy, bro. And then I was getting shipped with that girl when I actually had a crush on a different girl. And the feelings faded away as like she started, how to say, like going away from the values I look for in a girl. So yeah, I dodged the red flag. Yeah, I dodged the red flag, but I wouldn't be so lucky in year 10. Alright, we reached that part, bro. Like, I genuinely feel bad for you if you don't watch until the end from now. Like, you made it all this way to reach the point where I concentrated 80% of the value of the video in just from here till the end. You trust me, right? Because you made it so far, so don't give up now. All the value lessons are here, I promise, alright? And anyway, the year starts with 16-year-old me not having my glasses because I wore them on the beach, right? And somehow they got lost to the waves. So yeah, stupid. You know how they say like a bad start to the year is kind of a bad omen, right? Yeah. But anyway, I later bought the glasses, which you're seeing on me now, this pair of glasses. And because I took accounting, a subject that I dropped 3 days later, I got put into this class with 10 boys and 20 girls instead of with my homies. And I'm actually so grateful for that. Wait, my throat is so fucking dry right now. And I'm so grateful for that because I wouldn't have this lore if I ended up in the other class. And sure, now that I was making self-improvement videos, schoolmates and were starting to look at me weird and stuff, but I was fine with that. You know how they say you'd rather have 5 diamonds than 64 coal, right? Anyway, let me check if my camera angle is correct. Yeah, camera is fine, right? Yeah, alright. I'm getting paranoid, bro. I still have my real friends also some online ones like Kasparas who went viral on Twitter apparently, and Pauline who I chat about random bullshit with. I was also monetized on YouTube, and there was this running joke that I would make like 1 cent per paragraph or script written. And honestly, that wasn't too far off from the truth, man. I was making like $1 a day. My friends were making more money working as hell, literal Discord mods were making more money than me when I was pouring my heart and soul into these videos, making sure uploads were consistent when I had to balance like school and fitness also on top of it. And I wasn't gonna mention this, but you just need it for context. It'll just be brief, like very brief, because this is way too personal. And I'm way too young to give a mature perspective on it, but it's pretty far in the video, so if you've made it this far, you're a real one, bro. You're a real one. So I might as well, since you're a real one. My elder sister, I have one, she got a boyfriend with character traits that my parents quite understandably didn't like. And this thing was over the course of like at least over a year, and she basically ended up lying about being with him to my parents. And I remember we went out to this restaurant, I think, with my parents the same day that happened. And me and my sister went out of the restaurant for a walk, right? Because inside the restaurant was kind of cold. And I looked her dead in the eyes and I said, something like, "Were you with him?" And she looked at me dead in the eyes back and she said no. That was a lie, and long story short, it sowed a rift between my sister and I. And that's all I'll talk about on this. But yeah, again, it's very personal and I need to mature first. I'm just mentioning it because that rift will leave me feeling a lack of love and connection that would affect me and many of the decisions I'd make this year. This got me showing a more insecure side of myself and more egoistic one as well, acting like I knew what was best for people. Yeah, doing the good habits is good, but you gotta realize that a lot of people don't have the same backstory and strong purpose that you do. Here's something that if you understand, you'll get so much better at talking to people. Everyone hates themselves to some degree. In self-improvement, it's like understood that a lot of criticism is from a place of love, but in like everyday life, not really. To everyone else, don't, okay? Like, truth is, a lot of people already know where they are going wrong. Most of the time, they don't want to hear it from you. And sometimes we need to look for people's virtues instead of their vices, okay? Even if it's from a place of love, they already know where they're going wrong, man. A lot of the time. They just don't want to admit it. And my insecurity will lead me to cut ties with this friend group. Like, I had this friend group in my class, and the entire story could be its own 1-hour video, but okay, we're chill again now. But like, that got me searching for new bonds because we had cut off each other. Foreshadowing, bro. Okay, I became closer friends with this girl who was also in my previous class actually, and she's actually a good person. Like, we talked about values and I helped her at least a bit to focus on herself and not like whine about this circumstance that's not in her control or something. But previously in like year 9, I kind of took advantage of her for like computer homework and shit, bro. Like, I know you're watching this, I'm sorry, bro. I promise. I also befriend this guy called Garage. Absolutely zero questions asked here. His name is Garage. It was also around this point that I would quit Clash Royale finally, fucking finally, bro, I'll quit Clash Royale. And right after, I would start seeing YouTube success. I'll get to that later because I have this for you right now. It's a little embarrassing, but it's not personal. And this was a bigger part of my growth than I'd like to admit. Actually, not really. Like, how to say, it was more this time period in general that contributed to my growth. And I kind of want to rush through this because I want to get to the happy part ASAP, but I'll give it time. Alright, so it's my midterm, which for us is in May, and I started to get really like attached to this girl I was friends with for a few months. For a few weeks, we just do like homework together or something, and you don't know where it's going, I promise, but like, oh god damn it, bro. Alright, okay, serious now. I'll call her Annabelle from this song. You might get why in a little, and honestly, Belle sounds like a better name. Like, yeah, Belle rolls off the tongue more nicely. Okay, before I start, I don't want to see like any hate comments targeted at like Belle or anyone, honestly, because I'm not full of hatred anymore. Like, I'm not here to talk shit about her. I'm grateful for this girl. Like, she taught me so much. Like, I thought it was deep, but like, nah. I just needed to learn because honestly, how do I say, like, something like this would have happened anyway. It's just like whether sooner or later, and I'm glad that I learned it now instead of later lah. And yeah, it's my channel, so I have to take accountability for what I say, you know. This is just for the story, and so you can learn a few lessons from it. Odds are I'm gonna word this section wrongly and make myself look bad. Hopefully not though. Okay, so you remember like the sister thing from earlier, right? I was getting the attention from Belle that I was missing from my own sister. That's like the entire thing summed up. Like, we jokingly call each other siblings, but half of me meant it. And I talked about this briefly in this video I'll show on screen. Like, her values weren't even aligned with mine, I was just missing attention. And that feels so wrong for someone like me to say. Like, this goes against my own values like authenticity and self-respect that I set for myself and preach to others. To me, that's the embarrassing part, not like the later parts of the story where I get even more like down. Let's promise each other that from now on we'll stick to our values, okay? Another pinky promise time. Okay, my actual sister came back from studying abroad like on June 22nd, I think, which fucked me up even more. Like, historically, when my sister came back, my life just got worse. And this time my parents saw her with her boyfriend, and there was like genuine talk of like kicking her out of the house, and it reminded me of those younger days I talked about with the uncertainty and shit. I'm not mature enough right now, so this is like a story I'll save for the future. And a lot of this sister and Belle things I actually forgot. Like, I forgot a lot of the details from here. I mean, if you look at the title, it says happy, right? Like, that's the word happy in the title. So yeah, I moved on, but I went through old chats with this other girl I'll reveal later, and she's actually really sweet, by the way. Just to recall the details and just so I'm able to construct back the story and deliver these lessons to you in the most compelling way possible so that you remember them, alright? Yeah, I had to do extra work, bro. It was around June that I started falling behind in like schoolwork. I was a whole month behind on math homework, and to my friend who I asked math homework from, you now know why. I went through every day never feeling like I was enough for myself, and I felt like I needed Belle. That sounds cringe as fuck to say, holy shit. But like, yeah, I was closing myself off from other people and just overall being needy. I felt physically sick a lot during this time period too. And like, a lot of these points I got from the girl who I'll mention later. Like, that's why I have the points on the script, because yeah, I forgot. I forgot. So like, yeah, and it says here like I didn't feel safe at home and I didn't feel safe at school. But like, those are the two places that I'm safest at. Like, then like, if I'm not safe there, then where am I safe? Like, damn, what was bro thinking? Holy shit. Like, honestly, it was my year 8 insecurities that hurt me the most. The year 8 ones. The sense of unworthiness, the anxiety, the sense of lacking human connection, I'd say. It was definitely more of me choosing to face all the insecurities I've had for years that fucked with me more. But yeah, that got me doing a whole lot of self-reflection. But none of that solved my over-attachment to Belle. And I remember on August 13, my birthday. Oh yeah, quick plug by the way, shout out to my econs teacher, she's the GOAT. And oh yeah, I remember I told her like, earlier on in the year I said like I stay single in high school to build myself up first, and I got distracted, bro. We had this econs expo, right? And I remember everyone wished me happy birthday, and Belle was there, and she just like turned away and later texted me that she didn't hear anything. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but that's kind of a lie. Like, that's kind of a lie, bro. And like, fuck me, bro. Fuck me. I was so like figuratively choked up on all these like small, insignificant details. Before we continue the story, if you're anything like me, you spent your youth chasing attention, chasing love, chasing validation from other people because you lacked it as a child. But something I'm teaching myself now, and that I hope you do also, is that you want to get your validation only from the people who will reciprocate your efforts. Basically, just choose someone who chooses you, man. A girl, friends, acquaintances, anything. From my personal experience and after talking to hundreds of guys, which is what I did during this period, I learned that like chasing attention and validation from someone who just doesn't care is like the fastest way to depression, bro. It's like the fastest, I can't say fastest to save my life. It's like the quickest way to depression that exists. Look, as long as you're being purely you, the right people for you will stay and the wrong people for you will go, alright? You got me? And now I'm gonna introduce the main character. I'll call her Maya. Fancy name for fancy girl, bro. I need to stand up, like I've been sitting for like 10 fucking years. Okay, so me and this Maya girl got to know each other, and in total we sent 15,000 messages to each other, Maya and I, on Discord alone, bro. We talk about random shit most of the time, and I remember telling her that like I was confused whether I like Belle or not. That's not something you get, not if you genuinely like the person. And at the time I was just super lonely, and a lot of it was self-inflicted, honestly. So I guess it was just nice to have someone actually passionate and genuine who cares about you to talk to. Someone who's there and who won't play games with you and who won't try to like use you to boost their ego and genuinely wants to see you succeed. So thank you, Maya. If you're watching this, I love. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly sum up this part. I forgot why, honestly. I think it was to solve the uncertainty, but I ended up confessing to Belle. Like, I think I gave her like math notes and a chocolate, I think. And we talked after school and it was pretty neutral. But then 1 week later, I got this message, which is the bullet point message. And you know what that means, basically. And it would have hurt me bad if I actually liked her, but it didn't, because at the end of the message, it was like, let's be mature and continue being friends, like that. Something like that, I think. But I knew like our friendship is basically over lah. I was just holding on to hope. And if you notice, every time it's always uncertainty from something that I'm attached to that fucks me up. Like, that's, yeah. And then like 1 month later, after school, I was physically sick, right? Like, I think I had fever. Yeah, I had a fever. And I had to go see the dentist because my braces wire came out. So I was on this trip to the dentist, and I think I was listening to this song, like AI by Alec Benjamin. It's also an Alec Benjamin song. And then I got to the dentist. Yeah, I got to the dentist, and as I was waiting there, right, I got a text from her basically saying, yeah, like cutting, like basically saying, I don't like you, I don't want to be friends, you're nothing to me, basically. I don't want to be friends with you, and I'm not going to try and save the friendship. Basically something like that. And I remember like, I was like, holy shit. Basically we were ghosts to each other lah, which is like the thing that I hoped wouldn't happen. Because like honestly at the time, honestly anyone at all, like it's just not nice being like knowing that you're a ghost to someone, you know. And so yeah, I was in the dentist, then And then I went to the room, like the dentist room, to fix the braces. And usually I can take the pain one. Like even they apply the bracket, which is like a very painful thing. I didn't like make any noise, but like they just had to put the wire back, and I was like shivering. And then the dentist was kind of shocked, bro. Okay, I wasn't shivering, but like I was shivering. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I was shivering, but it was probably due to the fever lah, because I had a fever then. The dentist was like, what the hell? The orthodontist. And yeah, I went back home that day, and it wasn't very nice. I remember like a few days after that, there was like a family thing as well. And at 12 a.m. on 22nd September, this picture I took this picture in my room. I'll show it on screen right now. It was after a family thing, I think. I'm not actually sure, but like if you use that picture against me, you're just a bad person, bro. Like I always say you're a good person, but you know, if you use that against me, you're just a bad person. Okay, like holy shit. I was like sad, bro. And the last time we talked, I think I went up to her like before our end of year exams. Oh yeah, this fucked up my end of year exams. I forgot what I said, but something along the lines of, hey, I think it would be both of our losses if like we just ghost to each other like that. And then she just like ignored me and walked away. And then after that I was like, holy shit, I'm done disrespecting myself like that. And yeah, that was it. We didn't talk to each other after that. And honestly, yeah, I'm grateful for that. Like kind of taught me how to respect myself and how to move on without closure, which was something that I was struggling with like since primary. Like I always needed like something from the other person in order to move on, which is actually a point I'll get to later on in the video again. And yeah, that was it. This part is unscripted, so that's why I'm kind of like, it took the previous girl I actually liked. I got over her in 3 weeks, but this one took way more than 22 days and 21 nights, bro. Like I got scammed. The song lied. It actually takes longer, guys. My throat is super dry. It took me so much longer because I feel that my brain had associated her with all this other stuff, and it was only when I got over my insecurities that I got over her finally. Like it wasn't even like getting over her, it was just the insecurities, and that made me feel like shit. And yeah, that's kind of a risky thing. That entire thing was kind of risky to say, especially me being it's my last year of high school right now. So like yeah, but fuck it, man. I don't think I was in the wrong. Okay, wait. I kind of was, I guess, because like I was clingy, but like what I meant by that was like I completely understand everything that I did lah. There was nothing like, and I guess I just needed that to learn the lessons, you know. Yeah, I'm making it sound like a much bigger deal than it actually was, because like I'm talking about this and avoiding like the family and sister things. So like yeah, I might have to like go back to here again, and hopefully not, yeah, but I might have to go back here again and reword some shit. This was kind of rough, man. And one quick tip to help you with your insecurities, by the way, list down and prepare for the insecurities that you do have, like with just like default NPC answers, bro. Oh, have you ever tried a skincare routine, bro? Yeah, I have one, and I've seen my face get better because of it. Look, he makes YouTube videos, but I find it fun. But oh, it's cringe, bro. Well, I saw this guy who retired his parents doing YouTube, and I wanted to help mine out too. Just something simple like that. Oh, I heard you tried to bond with Belle. Oh yeah, by the way, I thought being mature about it meant not telling anyone, but apparently no. So like, yeah, and the only person I told was Maya. And back to it. Like, I heard you tried to bond with Belle, and oh yeah, we didn't share the same values, so that was a bit immature of me, but I know better now. And then the guy then said like, yeah, you have shit taste, and that's low-key offensive to both me and her, but like, I just say like, okay, I did say that was immature of me, and I know better now. I mean, like, stand up for yourself, but you see the point I'm trying to make here. A lot of your insecurities are not yours, they are put onto you by other people. And you remove insecurities that are not your own by coming up with default NPC responses to them that people can't argue with. You don't say, oh, actually it's because like this thing with my sister and it goes way back and like I'm insecure. And bro, you don't say it like that, bro. Like, relax. Don't be a nerd, just be chill with it. And one of the few things keeping me going throughout this time period was YouTube. I'd always dreamt of helping the world and being able to support myself financially while doing it. Like, my number one goal on YouTube was retiring my mom. But now I shifted to helping you out lah. Don't get me wrong, that's still a fire as fuck goal, but it's not number one anymore. And in June, after years of uploading, I finally saw some real success. Where this video, which is a meme among my friends now, by the way, started popping off. Then in August, I got another one. I say this not to brag, but just in hopes of inspiring you, alright? Because this is a very transparent video. At my peak around my birthday, I gained like 3,000 subscribers in 3 days and made the 1 month minimum wage in my country in 1 week. Which is honestly like so fucking humbling. Like, I'm so grateful that I get to just sit in front of you and be able to make such like a big impact on the world in my own small way. Obviously I'm not really doing anything like great lah, but it's nice to see that at least a few people are recognizing my efforts, and yeah. So I'm so grateful to you. I don't know who you are, you're behind the camera, but I'm so grateful for you, alright? And people like you genuinely like my videos, so everyone like started watching more and more, and even those videos with like 24 views, like they started watching those too. Again, this is not to brag, it's just proof that the work you're putting in today, especially if you're young, is going to pay off. It is, alright? If I hadn't made those 24 view videos, I wouldn't have had the skills to make the 2 that went viral. Like, I made it playing the game my way, authentically trying to help people, and not some gay business model like warm outreach where these fellas would be like, hey dad, can you subscribe to my OnlyFans? Like, not any bullshit like that. It finally felt that everything was finally worth it. Of course, all of this was like kind of numbed by Belle and other stuff that I didn't mention, but like the impact I made in people's lives is still here, maybe even compounding. The impact it made in my own life too, compounding. Like, all my life I was behind in general, and now I was doing well in at least one way, bro. I only say this to hopefully inspire you, not because I don't like boast or brag or anything, because even then I was still in the biggest rut of my life after October. So here's how I got out of it, and here's where the happy part is. Fucking finally, man, I've been waiting so long to get to like the happy part, the part of the story where I'm finally happy again, bro. First, let me close up the loose ends with like the Belle story with an analogy that's not that related but is good, okay? If you could only watch one part of this video, let it be this one. This is so valuable that I cut my hair just to prove it to you, alright? For context, it's now November. My finals are over, so like, I've got actual time now. Went out with my friends, started journaling on an actual book, and also recorded the clip that you saw at the very start of the video. This video was supposed to be uploaded on January, but like, at this point, Belle herself is out of my life. Oh shit. It's raining outside right now, so like, bro, that's like the worst time. Like, here's gonna be dark, I'm not gonna get the sunlight effect anymore, no. Okay, but yeah, it wasn't Belle I needed to get over now, it was like, what I had attached to her, you know, like how wrong it felt, how wrong that I felt, and the disrespect that I let happen to myself. Looking back, it's not that deep, but if I summed it up, honestly, my brain had just associated with her this entire time period of like June to September that I haven't even told you the better half of yet. Like, I haven't even told you most of the details that were actually affecting me. Like to my brain, she was like the physical reminder of this entire time period. Like my past, all the bad that I was and all the ways that I wasn't like enough. I'll tell more stories in the future, okay, I promise. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but more prevalent here were definitely the year 8 insecurities of like anxiety, unworthiness, and just lack and whatnot that I thought I killed already, but came back to haunt me this year. And that was definitely a bigger part of it. Really, I just needed to accept my past so that I could start seizing my present and start building myself up for the future, you know? And oh yeah, I remember I used to listen to this song a lot. It's Corduroy by Boy of You. I used to listen to the unreleased version of it. And I remember like it was so emo, lol. Like that song still means a lot to me to this day. And yeah, like the thing that's good is like, I know I did basically everything I could to try and save the bond lah. And that honestly really helped me. Like you can't control the output, you can't control what happens, but you can control your inputs, you know, what you do. And if you know you did your part, you shouldn't be all upset, you know. This goes for many like other aspects in your life also. And it goes for you too. Detach yourself from the result, which is out of your control. The rain's super loud right now and it's making the room dim, so I might need to add a LUT to get things back up, to get the brightness back up. But oh yeah, I needed to give you an analogy, right? It's kind of a side thing, but January me thought this was really important. Like he has it in a big ass bullet point, lol. So whenever someone wrongs you, right, it's like you pick up a weight from them. They hurt me and this weight is a reminder of that. The weight's not heavy at all, you know, but soon someone else wrongs you and you pick up a weight from them too. And now you're carrying another weight. And then you say, when these people show that they're truly sorry, then I'll let go. But trying to seek closure from the other person is like trying to pass the weight on to them. And everyone has their own weight already. You think they're going to carry your weight, you think they're going to take your burden off you. And again, I'm just a kid on the internet, but if your father never told you this, it would be extremely valuable of you, extremely honorable of you, if you look back at those who wronged you with not hatred, but with gratitude, for they influence the person that you are today, all the virtues that you have right now. Forgiveness is entirely selfish, honestly. It's not for the other person, it's for yourself. I remember I saw a quote once that goes like, a guy is a slave to what he can't walk away from. And honestly, that's so fucking true. Look, whoever wronged you, until you forgive them, they are winning. Because this weight is something you're holding with your own hands and you can't let it go. I'm going to forgive people who hurt me from like years 8 to 10, and I'm free now. And you're free now, but you're also months behind in all aspects. Okay, no, not you, that's me. But yeah, at the very least, my sister has went back to the UK for uni, alright? So like, and I fucking hate to say it, but like historically, whenever she's in the UK, I mean whenever she's at home, like my life was just worse. So her doing that made my life better lah, her going back, and me being the only child in the house. Like it doesn't help to have people in shambles physically around you when you're on the biggest rut of your life. So yeah, when you actually understand what a rut is, you'll find it so easy to get out of it, and you'll wonder why you were even stuck in the first place. Okay, so the rain has officially ruined my video lighting, but anyways, what a rut actually is an exponential slowdown of progress, like this. Basically a lawn graph. We don't want that. So what's the opposite of a lawn graph? This. And what's that in real life? Momentum. The opposite of a rut is momentum. You need to understand that. So now we've established momentum is the goal, what we want. We obtain this momentum using a concept known as progressive overload. The gym goers will know this one. It just means that you'll do more in the next session than you did in this one. So let's say we're weak, right? And we try to do 3.5 kg bicep curls, this one. We get tired around the 12th rep, alright. Then next week we go again and we find we can put the smallest amount of weight it's like 4.5 kg per dumbbell now, and we can still do 12 reps even with the added weight, because you're a good person and you ate good and slept well. If we tried 4.5 kg on that first week, we wouldn't have been able to do it, and we would have gotten an injury because then we weren't strong enough yet. And that's basically the entire concept of progressive overload. Then next week we'll do like 5.5 kg and whatnot. Like hell, even League of Legends players who like fucking, I don't know, edge or some shit understand this. Oh yeah, my friend taught me what the word edging means, and okay. Okay, in Minecraft, for example, you don't start by killing the Ender Dragon. You mine wood, kill the cows, and then you can start killing like skeletons and endermen and then blazes before you kill the dragon itself. It's the same thing in real life. You need to slowly level up over time. But here's the catch. Life is like Slither.io, not Minecraft. You lose XP if you don't keep leveling up, just like in Slither.io. This is the reason that so many people stay stuck in their ruts. You think you can kill the same boss you were eligible for 2 months ago, but you're not at level 100 anymore. You're now level 50, ineligible to kill the same boss. Imagine if like your friend just kept trying to kill the widow with a wooden sword. You'd be like, bro, just mine some diamonds first and make some armor first, right? And then only fight the widow. Worse yet, the amount of times he's failing tells his mind that he's incapable of getting that task done, and that negative perception of himself pulls him into a bigger rut. That guy trying to kill a widow with a wooden sword is you stuck in the rut. It was me coping to myself, saying, oh, it'll actually be productive if I check my YouTube analytics now instead of studying the task at hand, the task I said I would do. Like an actual scenario now is how I procrastinated making this video, so now it's later on in the day and it actually rained and it ruined my lighting. I would have had such a better lighting and this video would have been, well, at least the quality of the message stays the same. So I really do hope you stick around, okay, if you're still watching, please. I worked so hard for this message just for it to be like ruined by some lighting changes and this thunderstorm. Okay, your level has decreased and so you're not able to do everything on your habit tracker, for example. What you've got to do is acknowledge this. I know this is gonna hurt, and it hurt me too, but you've got to realize that when you're in a rut, you're not all that, man. Not just yet. You've got to let your ego take a hit. Because what if you don't? What if you keep hopelessly trying to kill the widow with a wooden sword? Let's imagine a buff guy, alright? He benches 100 kg for reps. Then one day, he's benching and he injures his wrist, so he stops. Next week, he tries 100 kg again, and before he even like gets the bar down, he fucking snaps his wrist again and he gets another wrist injury. So he gets all pissed at himself, and next push day he goes, you know what, since I missed last session, I'm not just gonna do 100 kg, I'm gonna do 200 kg now. And that's the equivalent of what you've been saying to yourself. I haven't been studying for 2 hours daily, so I'll study for 5 hours tomorrow. My diet hasn't been clean lately, so I'll eat only protein tomorrow. That's literally the guy who just got injured doing 100 kg, going into the gym the next day and saying, oh, I'll hit 150 kg now, I've got it this time, guys. Like, that's so fucking stupid. That sounds idiotic as fuck right now that it's clicked in your mind. You tell him to lower the fucking weight, right? So he takes a week off and then he actually rests. And then we get him back into the gym. And what weight will you put for him? I don't have really any experience at the gym, but I'll put like fucking... He was doing 100 kg before this, but now we've got him doing, let's say, 40 kg only. If he's all egotistical, he'll say like, oh, I can do 100 kg, but yeah, bro, we know you can, but you're recovering, so let's just do 40 right now, and next week you can do 60, and the week after 80, and then 100. And in 3 weeks you'll be back doing 100 kg, man. But if you go 100 now, you'll like snap your wrist and you'll get another injury. You're this egoist who's going like, no, if it ain't 100 kg, it ain't worth my time. And after missing even more days, you start saying stupid shit like, I'll do 120 kg, guys. That's literally what you're doing, by the way. You were supposed to study for 2 hours. You didn't, so you start saying, I'm gonna study for 5 hours now. Like, what the hell, bro? You're making the weight even heavier, the wither even higher health and harder to kill. You didn't even do 2 hours today. So you say you're gonna do 5 tomorrow. Why are you saying that? I used to do this and I know you've been doing it too. I know I'm not like the only one who's thinking this, okay? I know you must have thought of it before too. But why do we think like that? You need to stop making it harder for yourself, bro. So what you've got to do right now is to reduce the work to what you're actually capable of right now. Screw your normal habit trackers. Make a habit tracker for tomorrow with only one habit. I'll slot in a good mindset for you here. If you can internalize this, you'll finally stop like needing to watch all these productivity videos. Let's say 7:59 a.m. alright? And my plan was to record a video at 8 a.m. I'll get thoughts telling me like to do something else, to, I don't know, procrastinate. But what I have to do is pull my focus back and do the task anyway, knowing that that's self-love. Oh, I could record the video at 9 a.m. Nope, 8 a.m. Oh, I could work out now. Nope, 8 a.m. Oh, I could text this girl I've been talking to. She's really, nope, 8 a.m. So we've got this one thing done, right? And it isn't much, but it's honest work. But the best thing about it is that it gets you started. Remember Newton's first law says that objects in motion stay in motion while objects at rest stay at rest. Exactly. All we need is this initial push. So many people have been using that law against themselves. Like, you just want to get the ball rolling only, then you're done for today. You're allowed to like play video games or like edge or something. I don't fucking know what you want to do. Like, okay, sweet. Let's say you start edging now or some shit. So like, yeah, you start edging, but then you realize that you don't even enjoy it because like checking off that box was more fun. Like, fuck, I actually want to go to the gym now. Yeah, let's go. I want to do a cold shower right now. Like, yeah, it'll actually be kind of refreshing. And yeah, I want to meditate right now because I actually want to be calm, you know, and increase my mindfulness. Like, the thing that's so good about this is that the work you're doing is from a place of genuine desire in your heart, wanting to see yourself do better and not from anger or something like that. You do the good habits because they're good. You do them with a smile on your face. And then you can up it to like 2 habits or 3 habits and so on. It gives you direction, which is so key. So key to making progress. Like in a video game, for example, the NPC goes like, "This dragon killed my wife, could you help me?" And you're like, okay. And then he says, first you gotta get a dragon shield if you want to kill the dragon. Then you're like, okay. So you go to the guy selling the dragon shield and he demands 20 gold for it. So you have to go mine the 20 gold. And then after that you have to get a dragon sword. And you get what I mean. There are clear directions for you, clear steps to help you make progress. This sense of direction is so key, by the way. Like, my videos were actively changing thousands of lives, even when I was depressed. But with this sense of direction and stuff, I finally started to see the good in life again. Started being more grateful for like the tree outside my house, for the cold water in my shower, or for the nice aircon when I sleep. You get what I mean? I also made this video about humility that I'm really proud of. The audio at the start is kind of mid, but the message is good, okay? The message is good. Started enjoying my workouts again, and for sure my arm is bigger right now than in the B-roll, right? Right? Like, yeah, I don't know, but... And also I became closer friends with this Isaac guy. And I think I've mentioned him before, but like, yeah, we share a lot of similar values actually. Over like stuff like working out and self-improvement and shit like that. And it's nice to have a friend who like actually shares a lot of the similar values lah. And I know he's been through a lot of shit as well. And oh yeah, he has a girlfriend, and one thing I've realized like past me a few months ago would have been jealous of that. Like, obviously he wouldn't say it, but like deep down he would have been jealous. When now like I'm not jealous at all. Like, there's zero jealousy because I know that I'll find my partner eventually. And it's things about that, like the, how do you say, the growth, the character growth that you can see compared to past you know, and that's really nice. And I'm really proud of that whenever I have something character growth related like that. I'm more proud of that than like if I made like $5,000 online or something, which I have. Like I've made $5,000 online, but I'm more proud of like the character growth compared to like the money or anything, you know. And I also find it really nice that I'm so like forgiving and grateful over stuff that people have done to me in the past, because it's self-love to let go of it and to allow yourself to live a good life. And yeah, 2024 was honestly really painful, but I learned so much, you know. And the last month of school passed by pretty fast actually. I remember using my school organizer as a sort of journal to write down stuff I was feeling, and also I wrote a note to my 2025 self. And I was listening to more hopeful music also, like Alonica by Lainey. And honestly, yeah, I was finding my Alonica. I was also going to go on a vacation to Europe at the end of the year. And maybe it's kind of egotistical to say this, but like it's a well-deserved vacation, man. I think I deserved it. And now it's finally time for the real value bomb of this video. The knowledge point that the guy at the start claimed was more effective than his antidepressants. I found this in December, and once I started taking action on it, holy shit bro, holy shit. What I hope you've realized by now is that you can turn on the feeling of a win anytime you want. That was the point of me telling you the entire like how to get out of a rut thing, the action plan. We want you to feel like you've got a win, because the win, no matter how small, is capable of compounding to another win and a bigger win, and you get what I mean. When you're in a rut, you still think the big boss you could kill in 5 shots earlier, you're capable of doing that now, when actually you're only capable of killing like the skeleton or something. Like the buff guy on bench press, he needs to redefine his idea of a win from 100 kg to 40 kg, even though it may be a bit humiliating. In fact, you can make literally anything a win. Smile right now. And that's a win. You love yourself enough to smile. Odds are you're thinking like this is stupid, and if you thought so, you are the type of person who needs this the most. You. Something as simple as drinking water can be a win for you. Sounds stupid and silly and all that, but just try this with me, alright? Let me pour water. Okay, so I'm pouring water right now, right? Like, and imagine doing it like you're 5 years old, like when you were pouring your first cup of water, you still remember that. Like, do it with some care and, I don't know how you say, meticulation. And then now say to yourself, it would be a win if I took this cup of water and drank it. And now take the cup of water and drink it. Now that you've drank it, I want you to fake a smile. Yeah, I'm happy that I drank this cup of water and it's a win for me. It sounds so stupid, but that right there is supposed to give you the feeling of a win. Now it probably didn't, and there's 2 reasons why. First, your ego is saying that, oh, I'm higher than that, and that's not a win in my standards. That's your ego speaking. And the second reason is a lot more deadly. It's the one reason that makes you all unhappier. Unconscious fear of social judgment. If you're watching this, you're a pretty respectable person, but you still fear social judgment. Like think about what is stopping you from randomly smiling in public. Social judgment, right? You're probably thinking I'm stupid now, but you can turn on the winner's effect anytime, anywhere. And you probably don't actually think I'm stupid. Like you've already trusted me with a fair portion of your time. And you trust that what I'm telling you helped the guy more than his antidepressants. Like, okay, I made $5,000 revenue before taxes and shit. That's pretty good. And you think I'd be proud of that. But no, I'm telling you instead to be proud of the fact that you just drank water. That simplest thing can turn on the winner's effect for you. Like, when's the easiest time to speak to a girl? When you just spoken to another one 3 minutes ago, right? It's the same thing. It's all momentum. I hope that you'll stay with me here. Like, anything can get that for you. Literally anything. Whether it's a good memory you had, like just think of one right now and you'll start to smile, but subconsciously you'll find yourself trying to suppress that smile, trying to turn it down because you think that other people will think it's silly. And even if you're in a room alone, you'll just like subconsciously try to tone that down, because like if you were doing that in public, it'd be embarrassing, right? So like you're conditioning yourself to turn that smile down. But just do this action step with me right now, or save this for later. This entire video I've just been trying to make you feel good, but if you don't do this action step, you're just letting me down, bro. Like, honestly, I'm not sure where exactly I found this from, but just do this with me right now. Take one shoe and untie the laces. Even if you're in school or in public, it's not weird for you to retie your shoelaces, right? So yeah, just pull on the laces like they're a girl or something, I don't know. Okay, the laces are open now, right? Close your eyes and think to yourself, it would be a huge win for me if I could just tie the laces back. Think that to yourself. If I can tie this shoelace back, it'd be an insane win for me that I feel so proud of. Now tie them back very carefully. Like when you were 7 years old and your dad was like, okay, loop the lace like this and pull it like this. And when you're done, just smile as hard as you possibly can. Like, just smile. I don't care if it's stupid, just do it. Because you can at any time feel like a winner. This is actually a skill you need to train, and it's tough at first because you're like, that's so stupid. But I'm so damn grateful to be able to teach you this today. This like changed my life. When I told you to untie your shoe and tie your shoe back, right? I know you got skeptical, but honestly, if you didn't do that action step or weren't planning to, you were just like me 6 months ago, a fearful, insecure little boy. I hope that didn't like offend you or anything, because this is for your benefit only. But you are scared of social judgment. You would be scared if you had to go up to your friends and tell them that you tying your shoelaces was a big win for you, right? And that's why you're going through every day feeling a slight bit of emptiness. You're unable to feel like a winner after something small, which is what you need to be able to feel like a winner for something big, to actually reach that stage where the win compounds into a big win that you actually genuinely feel proud of. Like, look, I don't care if you're in public, it's not weird to like just smile at your phone, or like people just think you're watching a funny video. Like, just hype yourself up. All the things, all the times you thought that you wouldn't make it through, but you did. You're still alive now. All the achievements. Just allow yourself to feel good for once, man. Like your dad taught you how to tie a shoelace, and his dad taught him how to tie a shoelace. And this shit goes down for fucking generations, bro. You just successfully executed a skill from your great-grandfather, man. Does that not make you feel good? You've got a phone with access to the world's information at your fingertips. And you can watch like my videos, for example, and you've got all your fingers. Like some people don't even have fingers and can't grip stuff, but you can, and that right there is a win. And nowadays people cringe at you if you just find a simple value from all these things. But like, I don't give a fuck, man. It makes me feel more fulfilled internally and helps me help more people like you. I don't care if I get judged for this. Like, bro, you just don't understand, man. The people who cringe at this are the people who need this the most. You need this, man. You're allowed to make yourself feel good for once, for the things that you've done. Be on your own side for once and make yourself feel good. I'm not gonna get arrogant, but like, I'm satisfied with the stuff that I've done, with everything I've done. Because when you feel like a winner, that's when you get more stuff done and more stuff done. And then you won't need to fake it anymore. Once you're productive, you start with like cleaning your keyboard and feeling good about the fact that you've got a clean keyboard. Like, you probably haven't wiped your keyboard in months, right? So go do that after this video, alright? Like, that is a win, bro. That is a win. You may not be able to you may not be capable enough to study for 5 hours straight. So just do 30 minutes and that's a win. Progressive overload, man. I know it hurts not being able to do 5 minutes straight. 5 hours straight like you used to, but you just gotta do what you can right now. If you're like down bad, you skip everything, you skip working out, journaling, meditating, studying. You just gotta do what you can right now. Like clean your keyboard, drink some water, meditate for 2 minutes, read 1 page of a book, do 5 push-ups. Remember there was a day when like doing 5 push-ups was a win for you, and it was a win for me. Like, think about that. Now that's literally less than my warm-up, but there was a day when that was a win. And I want you to be able to step back into that winner frame, to be able to help yourself and acknowledge that that's self-love when you're able to feel like a winner. A guy I told this to came back to me and said that it was more effective than the literal antidepressants he was taking. and that he doesn't really need them anymore. That's how powerful this is if used right. Think about that. This is gonna offend some people, yeah, but literally, just try it for yourself. It's so fucking powerful. Just basic self-improvement used right with the habits applied in the right way. I know this video is supposed to be about my story, but I made that section just for you because it genuinely changed my life. I know it'll be weird smiling about the most random bullshit for the first few weeks because it was for me too, but just commit to yourself for at least 6 months and I know you'll thank me later. Like, I got results after just 2 months, alright? Your ego will say like, oh, it isn't actually that important, it doesn't really work, you know, I'm special and like my case is just too bad, but just try it. Like, your ego's the same thing that got you procrastinating and got you into this rut. Would you trust it? Back to my story now, and my voice is getting really dry, so I might have to end this soon. But like, I'm on this vacation, right? Recovering from broken braces that harmed my gum and a 40 degrees fever on the plane. Yeah, that was tough, but... And I know this is gonna sound cringe as fuck, but like, I was just stepping into the winner's mindset and be grateful, and I was grateful for what I did have, so it was fine. Like, I was sick on vacation and UK weather is fucking miserable, but the buildings are nice. Like, I went to a few other places also, and I'll play you some travel clips for real. Twenty 2025 didn't start well for me either. Like, on the first day, our family had an argument, and that finally got me to sort of cut things with my sister. And that sounds sad, but like, we still care and love each other, alright? It's just that I've decided that I've detached from her, and I don't want to be stuck on people who, it's kind of sad to say, but bring me down. I don't want to be like attached to people who aren't the best for me right now. Oh yeah, on that topic, like, Belle and I haven't spoken a word to each other since, and honestly, yeah, that's good. Like, I want to be more than just another who got hurt doing Annabelle's homework, you know? And I am really grateful. Like, I feel like a bigger part than I like to admit of like why I'm so happy is because of the stuff, like the lessons that she indirectly taught me. Like, I'm genuinely changing lives on the daily. Not of people just commenting good video, but saying that they took actual action on the stuff I talk about and it improved their lives. Like, how sick is that? How humbling is that, bro? That just what I say has the power to impact people positively like that. Like, holy shit, bro, holy shit, holy shit. And because I have that positive momentum going for me, I start the school year off strong. I won't say like I'm all A-star student or something like that, but for the circumstance I was in last year, this year has been pretty fire as fuck, bro. Like, fuck, I'm so glad to be happy again. When you're happy, you make the people around you happy too, man. I started consistently running, meditating, which is something I highly recommend you do. I highly recommend you meditate, and socializing more often. Again, like I said, you want to humanize people, whether they are guys or girls. And sure, you'll meet some like impolite people around, but you'll meet a lot of good people too, in places you weren't expecting. People who, when they find out about your YouTube channel, they don't immediately ask you like how much money you're making, bro, and they actually care about what you're doing. So side note, but I remember like on the first day of school, my econs teacher was like, describe this year so far in one word. And I said peaceful, and then I don't remember, this girl was like, peaceful. I was like, yeah, peaceful compared to last year, definitely. I've still got one last thing to do before this video ends, but if I'm being honest now, like, I don't really know what else I have left to say. I've sacrificed so much just to grow this YouTube channel. It's like the one visible aspect I might actually be ahead of people in. Not to brag, but just to know that all this effort that I've put in is worth it, you know. That people are being actually inspired and changing their lives by the content I make. And I always felt a bit lonely my whole life. And okay, now I'm socializing a bit more, so not really, but I'm grateful for you being here, alright? This is a new chapter for my content, and I'm excited for what comes next, what it brings, and again, I'm so fucking grateful for you. And I really hope you stick around because Oh hey, didn't see you there, bro. Looks like the sunlight's back now, which is extremely bueno. It's March 7th, the day of the upload itself, and also my mom's birthday. I'm recording this now because it'd only be fitting that way, you know. I know this entire video was about my life story, but hell, even the editing of this video kinda resembles the structure of my life so far too. Really nice, smooth, frictionless editing at the start, and then the rain ruined my lighting and I had to put you up with the phone audio for the happiness bit, as I need to get this video out today itself, alright, I don't have time. But now the sunlight's back, the spark, just like I had when I was younger and freer. And trust me, while life recently has been far from nice, smooth, and frictionless, I'm just as happy. No, I'm even happier, bro. So grateful for everything that has turned me into the young man who I am today. So grateful for even the small things like my father making me half-boiled eggs in the morning, you know. Things could definitely take a turn, so I don't want to jinx it. But so far, 2025 is looking like it'll be the best year of my life yet. And I wish the same for you too, bro. Can't help but feel so much gratitude towards everything that has made me the way I am today. And while I do wish that, for example, I was closer to my mom and sister, I know that will come eventually with time as I mature. I was thinking stuff like, if only I could change a few of their actions and beliefs, they'd be doing so much better, you know, and that's especially for my sister. And while that may be true, they're probably thinking the same thing to themselves about me, you know. In the end, what matters is that we're all trying. To my sister, I forgive you and I love you, okay? And yeah, that's about it. An hour-long video on why I'm not your normal teenager. There's only one last thing I need to do now to mark change. You've definitely heard of the saying, if you want to change yourself, change your environment. And so I'm going to be doing just that. For real. Does this look good? You can't even see. Wait, can you even see it for real? I think it looks good, bro. Alright, we back. So, I hope you do stick around because as promised in my previous video, every upload from now on will be value as fuck, okay? So yeah, work like you've got 50 years left to grow and play like you have no tomorrow.